So in fourth place, it's Man United. As you don't know by now, if you watch my podcast, I'm a big Man United fan. Last season was very disappointing, but it was the manager's first year. I'm not 100% sold on the manager. However, this summer they've gone out and actually bought some attacking players that we need. Last year we struggled to score goals. Like I've never seen a Man United team struggle to score that many goals. Score few goals like that in my opinion. So this year we've got Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko. That front three will make or break Amorim's reign at Man United. If those front three play well together, gel together, Amorim is going to go from strength to strength to strength, and all decision he's made to sell some of the fans' favorite will look like a genius plan. However, if those three don't connect well, they don't mesh well together, Amorim is going to look like an idiot, and unfortunately, he will get sacked around December, January time. But I hope he doesn't get sacked. I would like for United to give him a long period of time. I want to see what he can do. But this team, the only thing that I would say is the 3-4-3 formation doesn't suit this team in my opinion, because you can't drop Bruno, and Bruno in the two. I love Bruno. Bruno's my favorite Man United player. However, Bruno in the middle of the park as a two, it's just not going to work. I don't care what anyone says. Against smaller teams possibly, but against bigger teams, big away games, you're just not going to have Bruno in the two in the middle of the park. Man United going to get exposed. That's why I believe a 4-3-3 formation will be fantastic with this team. Just imagine Maino, Casemiro, and Bruno in the middle of the park, or Casemiro, Ugarte, and Bruno in the middle of the park, or you can swap Maino with any of them as well. Like, I'm a big fan of Maino. I think Maino should be playing week in, week out. He's a fantastic player. And Sesko, I'm backing him to the moon. I've given Sesko the nickname Big Benjamin, and I believe in our competition this year, I'm looking at 20 to 25 goals in our competition for Big Benjamin this year. And Mbeumo and Cunha, I'm looking at minimum. I want 8 to 10, 12 assists from those two each, and I want them to contribute a double-digit goal in our competition as well. If that goes well, I think the defensive issue should be able to sort itself, in my opinion. And of course, you know what we're going to get from Bruno. Bruno has been Bruno the last couple of years. My favorite United player, one of my favorite United players to watch in the last couple of years, has literally carried the team in the last couple of years, in my opinion. What is Onana going to do this year? Will Onana be an airhead again, or is he actually going to have a bit of pride about him and actually be a pretty decent goalkeeper? I know there's a decent goalkeeper in Onana, but unfortunately we haven't been able to see it yet at Man United. So hopefully this year he can actually improve, be more confident, and if Martinez comes back, Alessandro Martinez, I believe that back three will consist of Euro, Maguire, and Martinez. I think that would be the back three, or you can swap Maguire for De Ligt. Those two they're interchange in my opinion. And the wing back positions, you probably play Ahmad right wing back, and I think Dorgo's going to play left wing back in my opinion in this team. So it's going to be interesting to see what Amorim actually goes with. And the next thing I'm going to go on to talk about is Chelsea. This is the last thing I'm going to go in depth about, in my opinion, on this pod. So with Chelsea team, they didn't have many expectations last year, and I think they exceeded expectations last year. However, this is a very young team. Will they crumble under pressure? They're going to be in Champions League as well. Is a squad good enough to play Champions League, Premier League every week, every midweek game, and then back to the Premier League? I don't think the young players mentally are going to be all there to be able to do that week in, week out, in my opinion. But what I do like is the sign of your man, I think Gittins. Very exciting player, 1v1 guy as well, specialist. I love those type of players. Those are my favorite type of player, the 1v1 specialist. And the Brazilian guy that's coming in this year, Stavo. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I watch Brazilian League maybe once or twice a week when the games are on. I watched him a couple of times last year for Palmeiras. He won, I think, Young Player of the Year. I think he might have been the top goal scorer of Palmeiras. I'm not 100% sure, but he was electric. In the Brazilian League where they're trying to kick you, he was a young guy, and he was fantastic. So I believe Chelsea have got a gem in their hand, and I hope we get to see that in the Premier League week in, week out. I know it's going to take a while to settle, because some South American players, especially when they're young, it takes a while to settle. However, I think he's going to be a gem in the next couple of years for Chelsea, and I'm so excited to watch him play. Obviously, Chelsea goes as Cole Palmer goes. Cole Palmer is one of the best players in the Premier League. However, last year he wasn't really that good in my opinion. He was good in impact, but overall the season he wasn't very consistent. So I would like to see a bit more consistency from Cole Parham, because I know he's probably one of the best players in the league when it comes to manipulating the ball, 1v1, delivering the ball, shooting, scoring, assisting. The next team I'm going to go on to is Spurs. I'm going to be looking at Spurs here. So Spurs got Kudus. I think is an exciting player. As everyone knows what Kudus offers. 1v1 guy. Like I said, 1v1 guys are my favorite types of guys to watch. Watch play football. They're so exciting. They get people out of their seat. So Spurs got him. I think he's probably going to play out on the left for Spurs. I don't know how Spurs are going to set up this year, especially the new manager. I haven't watched any of the Spurs preseason game. So if any Spurs fans are out there listening to this, please drop a comment and let me know. And I also found out they got Palhinha there a couple of weeks ago. And he's a midfield enforcer. I would have loved to see him in Man United. He can cover ground. His tenacity is fantastic as well. But I believe defensively this year, Palhinha might help a little bit in midfield, but however, defensively, I think Spurs are going to struggle. They're also going to be in the Champions League, and I don't believe their squad is good enough to play in the Champions League every week, every midweek, and then come back to the Premier League and perform, in my opinion. There's just not enough quality there. So I believe, like, I have them in my prediction. I have them somewhere in between. So I have them 8. So I think 8 is a pretty decent position for them. They'll hope to get a good cup run in the Champions League. I'm going to go through 2 teams I'm actually one team I'm actually excited to watch this series, Everton. David Moyes now has a stamp all over this team. I think they're going to be solid defensively, but going forward is where I think it's going to be very vital for David Moyes this year in Everton. They got Grealish, good player. They have Ndiaye, he's a 1v1 specialist as well, very good technically on the ball. And they have the South American guy Alcaraz, and they got Barry Tieno from, I think, Villarreal. It's a good centre forward, French centre forward. I believe that front 4 on their day, they're going to cause serious problem for a lot of teams. A lot of teams aren't going to have watched him on Barry Tieno and Villarreal, but I believe he's a very good player. I like the way he plays. He's electric. He makes a lot of runs off the ball. Grealish is going to feed him. Ndiaye as well is going to love playing with him when he gets the ball into the box. He has your man Barry Tieno has very good movement in the box. So I'm really, really excited to watch that game. Watch Everton play this season. I would like to see them finish in the top 10, but I have them 11th, but that could also interchange with Fulham. I can see Everton finishing in the top 10, no problem, if those front 4 click, in my opinion. Sunderland, they're giving the right go. They brought a lot of players in, but the thing about just need to promote a team. When they buy a lot of players, will they have enough time to gel? I believe the Sunderland manager is a good manager. I watched the playoff final last year. I can't remember Enzo Lefi, that's his name. I like him. He's a very, very good technical player. Very, very enjoyable, very, very pleasing on the eye to watch. I believe the signing of Granit Xhaka is very important also, simply because Granit Xhaka is an amazing player to watch. Whenever his leadership, tenacity, and the experience he's going to bring to that Sunderland team is going to be amazing. So I'm really excited for this new Premier League season. That's my prediction so far. Next video is going to be about Player of the Year, Player to Watch, Young Player of the Year, all that type of stuff, awards and things like that. I'm going to make a prediction before the start of the season. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Please drop a comment. Make sure you like the video as well. Share it to anyone if you'd like to as well. And I really do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend.